Test this thing out. We are back. Testing. Let me know if I'm good. Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me. I want to make sure I'm clear. Can't let the Dallas haters win. See. Clear now? It was internet issue. I'm happy to hear it. Happy to hear it. I should be good. I'm not going to go for too much longer, man. I just want to get some things. I do want to say some things before I get up out of here, man. And shout out to the people that came back. Shout out to Two Giant Goofballs, my man. Omega Supreme is in the building. Danny Correa in the building. I just want to say a couple things, man. Quick little rant before I jump off for real. And just how I'm feeling at the time, man. So I'm gonna just go for a little bit. This game tomorrow, right? This game tomorrow, there's a lot of things that are on the line, in my opinion, for the New York Giants. There are a lot of things on the line. Depending on how you feel about the New York Giants right now, depending on how you feel about the quarterback situation, it's a big game for the coaching staff. It's a big game for some of the players, and a victory against the Dallas Cowboys will go a long way on possibly saving some people some jobs, depending on if you feel like they're on the hot seat or not, for real. But for me, I really can't look past this season right now. I can't worry about if Brian Daboll is on the hot seat or not. It's in the back of my mind, but I thought that Brian Daboll was coaching a little scared in the first two games. He was holding back, and then we saw him really open it up. Really open it up. Pause. In that Cleveland Browns game against one of the better defenses. And for me, I think that gives Brian Daboll some confidence. I think that gives Daniel Jones some confidence. We're seeing Daniel Jones take shots that we haven't seen him take in a long time, 50-50 shots for sure. He really has trust in Malik Neighbors. And Malik Neighbors, he doesn't know any better right now. Malik Neighbors has been torching people since he got, from high school to college. And now, 3 games in the NFL, the highest level, and he's looking like the best guy on the field. And that just helps build confidence for the quarterback, for the wide receivers. And once you start putting games together, if we can win this game against the Dallas Cowboys, you know what kind of confidence we get after that? Shout out to my man Danny Correa, says really open. Yeah, that's a pause. That's absolutely a pause. I caught it though. But yeah, man, for me, it's not about just the Dallas Cowboys. It's bigger than the Dallas Cowboys. In all honesty, I really don't care about the opponent. It's about seeing the New York Giants improve. This is the third year of this regime, and when you look at any other rebuild, just looking around the league, once a new regime gets into that third season, you can't even call them a new regime anymore. You know what? It's time to put up or shut up. It's time to fight back in the division, and that's what it's all about. I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles. They don't look up to par, if we're being honest. The Dallas Cowboys don't look up to par. We almost should have beat the Washington Commanders. That's what should have happened. So if I'm looking at things like that, the New York Giants, and I'm about to jump out the window right now, the New York Giants probably should be leading the division right now. In all honesty, if we put the Washington Commanders away, we're sitting at 2-1, just like the Philadelphia Eagles. That's what should have happened. If we had only if we had a kicker. 21 points. That's what we needed, and we couldn't get that. And we also missed a field goal too. So in all actuality, that's probably 24 points. And 24 beats 21, and the New York Giants walk out of Washington with a victory, with something like that happening. And it's just that simple for me. I'll get to some of these comments, man, before I really get off here and let you guys get a good night of sleep. Danny Correa says, oh, yeah, it was the 23rd birthday for Dylan Hyde. That's a fact. I forgot about that. I forgot it was his birthday. That's a fact. Mickey X. And then let me know, because right now I'm going through some of these comments. Let me know if the connection sputters ain't doing anything while I'm doing that, because I'm really, the title of this is a test, so I'm really testing this connection out. I restarted it. The speed was looking up to par because it was looking crazy before I restarted everything. So hopefully, it comes to a lot smoother than what it was. One thing about me, I want the quality to be right, especially I'm going to be out here talking these New York Giants, talking to you about these New York Giants. I want things to, to move smoothly. My man Eli Collins says, do you think our O-line will hold up tomorrow? I haven't seen anything that would tell me anything different. For 3 straight games, this offensive line has been solid. I don't expect anything different. If we can, I keep saying, if we can move the ball against the Cleveland Browns, and again, I understand when we hear the name the Cleveland Browns, it's the Cleveland Browns, but no, that's a top 5 defense right there. And we were able to move the ball in the first half against them. I've seen the Saints, beat the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys. We've seen that, I'm with it. We've seen, the Cleveland Browns be able to run the ball against the Dallas Cowboys as well. So we should be able to move this ball on the Dallas Cowboys. That's a fact. Shout out to Mickey X in the building. Either a blowout Cowboys win or a close Giants win, no in between. That's how you feel, Mickey? Yeah, we testing Bill Harnett. We just testing out. The live was going, had some internet connections, audio issues, had to shut it down. Told folks that I might be back once I get things back up. And you know what? I'm back as promised. I don't mind talking this New York Giants stuff. Me personally, I could talk New York Giants all night, but respectfully, I respect people's time. People got to go to work tomorrow, so I'm not going to go for too much longer. But shout out to Bill Hartnett. And Bill, you already know you the man, Bill. Nova Nebula says, let's see what he says. Browns probably have the best D-line in the league. That's a fact. And we moved the ball on them. So that tells me everything I need to know about that. Absolutely tells me everything I need to know about that. Let me go ahead and pause this background music because I don't even feel like hearing that anymore. Let's get back to these comments. Big Blue 8 says Dallas gave up 400 yards through week 3. We have to run the ball. That's a fact. And again, I know, and I see it in the chat now. Even 2 giant goofballs, they let me know. Run is what they're saying. Is not what you want to see in 2024. You don't want to see old school smash mouth football, but guess what? That's what the New York Giants are going to have to do. But guess we also can mix in that passing game, but everything starts with the run, and a lot of people don't like to hear it. They want the 40, 50-yard plays down the field. I understand that's cool and all, but Giants right now need to run the ball. I couldn't agree more. My man Drew says, I want Turbo Miller elevated to the active roster for the game. Another pair of fresh legs. Let me tell you something. And I'm a big Eric Gray fan. And I've been a big Eric Gray fan ever since Oklahoma. But he's not doing what I need him to do. And for the position and the role that he plays, kick returner, third running back, Turbo Miller might be a better option right now. I'm going against what I said. Listen, when you get new information, you can make better decisions. And right now, for me, I'm thinking Turbo Miller as well. So I'm right with you, Drew. I'm right with you with the Turbo Miller. Let him get elevated and let him get some snaps, especially because, in all honesty, Eric Gray ain't seeing the ball outside of kick return, and he fumbled already. So it is what it is. It is what it did. Bill Hartnett says, how we feeling about Drew being out? I don't like it. And I do see that you said you're not happy about it. I don't like it, man. Because he brings a certain level of energy, and he proves it. He's one of those what do you call him? He leads by action. He leads by example. That's what I was looking for. He leads by example. His play is all on the field, and people feed off of that. And that calf injury is that's something that can nag the whole season. It can nag you for the whole season. Those soft tissue injuries, they can lag. I mean, they can pretty much hold you back for a long time. Ask Aziz Ojulari. As Z's. Sit him down, let him get healthy, bring him back. If it takes 2 weeks, so be it. I want him back fully healthy because we fly around when that kid is on the field, and I call him a kid because I'm an older person. Hamza Network says they should get Duke Shelley cornerback. Yeah, you know what? I forgot about Duke Shelley. That's right. Is he still on the practice squad? Who was really solid for the Rams, Vikings past years. They should get him activated from the practice. I forgot he was on the practice. He's a little bit small, but still, he's a veteran. He's smart. He's feisty. You know what? He played good against us. Actually, I'm lying. He did get cooked a little bit in those games. I might be lying. Eli Collins says it sucks with Jackson out too. That's a fact. Adoree Jackson being hurt, same injury, calf with him too. I don't know which guy is more severe than the other. I didn't see that if Brian Dable said the famous words of day to day or week to week. Again, we know that day to day really means week to week, and then week to week really means we don't even know when they're going to be back. That's how I understand Brian Dable. Let's see what Captain Mutombo says. Tracy getting more than 10 rushing attempts. He needs to. That's something that has to happen, and especially against a game against the Dallas Cowboys. If we're giving Singletary 15 to 20 carries, and that's a lot because this is supposed to be running back by committee, but we're not seeing that. We got away from that. We never even got started with the running back by committee. You know, the snaps are off. But yeah, I think they need to feed Tracy as well. It needs to be a 1-2 punch when it comes to the running back. You get your change of pace, explosive guy, and then you got your workhorse with Devin Singletary. And I think that's how they need to attack it. Multiple running backs, keep rotating these guys in, keep the fresh legs, keep throwing something different at them throughout the whole game. That's a fact. But I need to see that too. I need to see that too. Bill Hartnett says that's right. That's the right way to say it. Energy, well played. That's a fact. That's a fact. What you say about Kalen Carson? You says Kalen Carson is a bigger loss than Phillips and Jackson combined. They are thin at cornerback. When I saw that he was ruled, but he was ruled questionable, right? They didn't rule him out. Last time I checked, I don't think he was out. I think he was still questionable. But you go ahead and let me know in the chat for real. Sydney Angel says we need the pass rush to show up. We know they can't run. Yeah. They're having issues running the ball. And in the past we've had issues, stopping the run. And the Cowboys have been good running the ball against, especially attacking, the edges. But what I'm hearing now, and again, I was in the Dallas Cowboys space, they like to run up the middle. And guess what? We got Dexter Lawrence there. That's not happening. We're weak on the edges. We can't set the edge consistently. But the middle really hasn't been too much of an issue. So what they think is a strength is also our strength. And I'm going to take our chance when it comes to Dexter Lawrence in the middle and these linebackers scraping and cleaning things up. That's a fact. Eli Collins says, is the Cowboys O-line good or is the Browns better? The Browns going in better. They had a bunch of injuries during that game against us. They had a lot of guys go down. So by the time we got into the second half, I think there might have been only like 2 starters left on that offensive line. Like 2 starters, maybe 3 starters left. But the guys went down. Jedrick Wills went down. I can't remember the other guard that went down as well. But yeah, they had the guard kicked out, the left tackle, and they had issues. The Dallas Cowboys offensive line is young. You had a rookie center, rookie left tackle, second year left guard. Steele is on the right side, and he's not too good. But then they also got the veteran at right guard too. I can't remember his name right now. Zach, what's his name? Whatever, the right guard, the guy that got paid. I can't remember his name right now. But anyway, to me, that's food. Terrence Steele at right tackle. That's Brian Burns should eat him up like easy. It should be easy work. You're looking at the rookie Guyton on the left side. Tibbs should have a good game tomorrow. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to get pressure on the quarterback. I just know that Dak Prescott is a smart guy. I got to give him credit when credit's due. He is a smart guy. He knows what to do with the ball. He is decisive. He doesn't know what to do once you get into the playoffs. But regular season, Dak can do some things. But there's no reason why the New York Giants should not be able to get pressure on Dak Prescott tomorrow. From the edges up the middle, there's no reason why we shouldn't. There should be a party at the quarterback tomorrow. Put it that way. We should be in a defensive huddle. Tibbs should look at Burns and say, you know what? Hey, meet you at the quarterback. That's exactly what should happen tomorrow. You know what? Meet you at the quarterback. We're going to high five once we get this sack. Pause. My man Drew says, I do love the way Phillips has played so far. Yeah, that's a fact. I like Phillips a lot. And guess what? A lot of people were down. The only reason why I knew who Drew Phillips was because I saw his name on the 30-30 visit. And whenever I always pay attention to the 30-30 visits that, when they come out for the New York Giants, because 9 times out of 10, those guys are high on the list. And I saw, Drew Phillips played at Kentucky. I knew he was a slot guy at the time. Even now the New York Giants needed a boundary corner, but we ended up going to slot. So I was a little bit upset about that. I got I put out the video, reaction to when we drafted Drew Phillips. But he is spectacular in the slot so far. He's been fantastic so far. But the other thing is we still need an outside corner. So I mean, it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. But we got a guy with Andrew Phillips, that's for sure. And he's just going to get better. He's already confident in the system. He picked up Bowen's system before anybody else did because he was balling in the Commander game. He was balling. He picked up the defense before anybody else did, and he trusts himself too. I can't wait till Nubin gets on that level. That's the next guy. Nubin is kind of moving along slowly, but surely, slowly but surely. As soon as that man hits and gets this defense down, yeah, we're gonna see this defense move in leaps and bounds, especially when it comes to the secondary, because he's doing a lot of things now. But once he gets a full grasp, it's going to be fantastic for him. Drew also says Cowboys O-line is above average, but not elite anymore. Browns line was trash because a ton of injuries. No, that's the fact. They got hurt throughout the game. But again, the Cowboys are young. The Cowboys are young. Tyron Smith, them losing, no, not losing, but letting Tyron Smith walk. I mean, doesn't look like it was the best idea. But it is what it is. I'm not going to cry for the Cowboys, that's for sure. Johnny Lovely says a win tomorrow will do so much for the team going forward, and I can't wait. That's a fact. I can't wait either, man. I was excited again. Week 1. Remember, I jumped on here the day before the Vikings game. Was all excited, overly excited, and then what happened? This time, I feel grounded, but I'm looking at. I'll bring that back. So I was excited going to that Minnesota Vikings game because I was looking at the Minnesota Vikings like from where they were, not what they are right now. When I'm looking at the Cowboys, I've seen them play a few games. I see what their weaknesses are, and I like the way that we match up against the Cowboys right now. I'll say that. I'm not guaranteeing wins and stuff like that. I say we're going to win this, that. I respect the opponent at the end of the day. I just like some of these matchups, and I think that some of these matchups are going to be in our favor. And there's some matchups that are in the favor of the Dallas Cowboys as well. I just hope that we neutralize those by getting a good pass rush home. That's a fact. All right. He says Kalen Carson is doubtful. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I did see that. He's doubtful. So never know. He might feel good and play tomorrow. Drew also says, just hoping I have a power out here. Oh, the power's out. I have the power out here in Clearwater to watch. Oh, yeah, you don't want to have it. Yeah, I hope so. I hope everything. Yeah, I forgot that you're in Florida too, man. So hopefully praying for your safety as well. Once with the hurricane thing that's going on over there. Hopefully the family's safe and everything like that, man. At the end of the day, this thing's bigger than football, and safety is one of them. So hopefully you stay safe. So I'll be praying for that, man. Absolutely. Bill Hartnett says everyone hit the like. That's a fact. Listen, I'm not going to be on here too much longer. Again, I just came on to test the connection to make sure everything was right. Because when tomorrow gets here, and definitely around this time, we should know who the winner is by this time tomorrow. Definitely want to go live, and I definitely want to be able to celebrate, with the family over here. That's a fact. Ronnie Rivers is in the building. Shout out to Ronnie with the $4.99 super chat. She says pressure breaks pipes. We have to be aggressive. We have to be aggressive wave, and DJ has to step up and lead. That's a fact. We need some trick plays. Prayers up. That's a fact. You know what? Trick plays are cool. Trick plays are absolutely cool. What I don't like is when you try to do those trick plays in the red zone. That was one thing that got me mad about Dable last week is we got into the red zone and then he wants to go into a wildcat formation and we saw that it didn't work. So the trick plays are cool, but just don't give me the trick plays in the red zone. Once we get into the red zone, or like Tom Coughlin says, the green zone, time to buckle up the chin strap and play physical football. That's a fact. Eli Collins says we had the toss play that went crazy at the end of the game. We need to run outside. Yeah, that's a fact. Where was that play? Where was that play early in the game? Like Devin Singletary took that plus 50 yards, and then he nailed it down at the 1 yard line. But where was that toss play at? We haven't seen that toss play this season, have we? I don't remember seeing anything like that. If we did, it wasn't successful. But yeah, I'm all for that. Explosive run plays. That's what I'm about. Absolutely. Christian Torres says, "What's up? What's going on, Christian Torres?" Again, I'm going over my time already. It's been 20 minutes again. This is just supposed to be a test before we jump up out of here. Bill Hartnett says, "Stay safe out there." He talking to Drew with the two giant goofballs. Yeah, that's everybody showing love for everybody in the chat is a wonderful thing. That's a fact. MKX says, "I hope for your safety, goof." Yeah. Look at the love and support out here already. Said Tony had 189 yards against Diggs. How much will Neighbor have? And guess what? He did that without Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones went out that game. Who was throwing him that ball? Was it From or was it Glennon in that game when he had 189? I think Daniel Jones went down that game, right? Christian Torres, I see you. Do not be scared for tomorrow. Do not worry about tomorrow. Do not be anxious about tomorrow. It's nothing that we can actually control about it. Just feel good and give that positive energy. Put that positive energy out in the atmosphere, and hopefully it comes back. That's the best thing I can tell you. But don't be scared for tomorrow at all. The New York Giants know what's on the line. The players know what's on the line. The coaching staff knows what's on the line. That's what we need to be. That's what we need to be focused on. And guess what? We deserve. The New York Giants fans deserve a victory against the Cowboys, especially prime time, especially in front of everybody. We're the only show tomorrow. I keep saying that, the only show tomorrow. Let's go out and do something. No excuses. We the defense has some injuries on it. The offense is straight. Let's do some things tomorrow. These guys let me know. Shout out to Nova. Let me know that it was Glennon throwing Diggs, throwing Tony the ball out there against Dallas when he had 189. That's a fact. Christian Torres says, "Let's go Giants." That's a fact. That's what we're talking about. Bill Hartnett says, going to be out with the local Giants club tomorrow at the bar. Shout out to you. I know you're in California. Shout out to the Giants fans in California. I used to be in California. Shout out to those guys. He said, "We're taking over the private room." I hope you have a fantastic time. I hope the beers and drinks are flowing. I hope you got all the wings that you can eat. And even more, I hope that when you leave the bar tomorrow, then it's going to be with the Giants having a victory. That's a fact. Christian Torres, you're funny. Dash, low-key, a motivational speaker. I see you, bro. Nah, man, I try to speak life. Even when things are down. You guys saw me last week. I was at my lowest last week before the Browns game. Confidence was low. You know what I mean? I didn't feel right about the game. I didn't like the matchup. Giants went and shut me up. They shut up all my negativity last week. And I said, you know what? I got to pass the love on, man. So anybody that does not feel good about this game, first off, we have no control over it. No control over it. But as fans, we always want to see and be victorious in these games. 100%. Ruben says Devin Singletary 3 touchdowns. Guess what? Speaking into existence. And that's funny because that's what Ronnie said too. Speaking into existence. That's a fact, man. We got to be positive, man. Put that energy out in the atmosphere and let it come back. That's for sure. Mike Jones says big game for DJ tomorrow. We know his history with the Cowboys, and on prime time is sink or swim. That's a fact. And I'll talk about it just a little bit before we get out of here. I keep saying we're going to get out of here, and the time keeps flowing, right? We obviously know there's a split in the fan base when it comes to Daniel Jones. Like, it's a big split when it comes to Daniel Jones. You could say that he's probably the most decisive entity when it comes to the New York Giants and the fan base. For a lot of people that are in this chat right now, listening to me right now, I think we have one thing in common, whether we like Daniel Jones or we don't like Daniel Jones. It's all about him being the quarterback of the New York Giants. And because he is the quarterback of the New York Giants, a lot of us in here just root for him. Why? Because we bleed blue. We're the New York Giants fan base. So whoever that person is, we root for him. So I think despite how we feel personally, At the end of the day, the greater good is the New York Giants winning football games. And if Daniel Jones is a quarterback, I'm rooting for him to have good games. I'll leave it at that for right now. I'll leave it at that. Big Blue Giant says, the Big Blue Giant says, fee, 5, 4, fum. Let's stomp those boys out. That's a fact. That's a fact. I love it. I love it. El Jefe says, yo, Dash, I was watching TP Way the Giant, and he said, we need a new chant for first down, and it should be, listen, let me tell you this right now, right? I put out last year before the season started, I had a little hype video that I put out. And at the very beginning, we still had Leonard Williams on the team. It was stomping. And if you're on my Twitter, you probably can see it still on Twitter. And it was Leonard Williams doing his celebration stomp, right? And it was the heavy footsteps. And that's exactly what the motto was. It was fee, 5, 4, fum. And guess what? I think we should absolutely adopt that as a fan base at home. Fee, 5, 4. That shit, that'd be fire. You got me cursing and everything. I'm fired up about that. I like that fee, 5, 4, 4. I try to keep it clean. My bad for cussing if you got children in the building with you. Divisive. Bill Hartnett says divisive. Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Christian says Neighbors greater than Barkley. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. I don't like to talk about Barkley, but guess what? It's funny that you said Barkley, right? Barkley misses being a New York Giant. You can tell. You can tell. He's commenting about Malik Neighbors, talking about, he's really good. This, that, whatever he said, I'm paraphrasing, but you can tell. you can tell that Barkley is missing. He's missing. And guess what? You know why? Because he realizes in Philadelphia, they don't really love him out there like the New York Giants loved him. He can't get that same love because when he cost them the game, when he dropped that pass, they let him hear it. They let him hear it, and it's not the same as New York. And he'll understand that. I believe when it's all said and done, Saquon Barkley will sign one of those one-day contracts and retire a New York Giant. But we'll see what happens with that. My man said, F the kids. This is grown-up hours. Yeah, I try to keep it clean, though. I try to keep it clean. Mike Jones says, as long as he's the QB, I'm rooting for him. That's a fact. If our season ends before November, he said, I'm all for the playing younger guys and preparing for the future. Not a fan of beating teams picking before us in the draft. I hear you. You don't want to tank. I don't never want to tank either. But yeah, once it gets out of hand, you are playing that mathematical game in your head about where you can pick it. But we ain't gonna even talk about that right now. We ain't gonna breathe life into that right now. Respectfully, though. Respectfully. Bill Hartnett says, sorry, I just always ace vocabulary class and teacher love. Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact. Divisive. Christian Torres says, yeah, he does, trying to reach out to Jones after the game. Yeah, he did. After that big loss, week 1, Barkley did call Daniel Jones and talk to him. Listen, man, it is what it is at the end of the day. I felt a certain way when Saquon Barkley left, and I only felt that way is because of where he went. I still got love for Saquon Barkley. I just hate the team that he went to. And since he's a part of that team, guess what? For right now, I got to hate Saquon Barkley too. It's nothing personal. Strictly business. Strictly business. Mike Jones says he talk about the Giants more than the Eagles. That's a fact. That's a fact. Shout out to Tim. Tim is in the building. Will Dak Prescott be no match for Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, Elijah Chapman, and Brian Burns tomorrow? My answer is he won't be any match for them. Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Can we get multiple sacks tomorrow? Pause. We were able to get 8 against Deshaun Watson. Can we get 6 or 7 against Dak? Can we do that? I would love that. Double digits would be fantastic as well. Omega Supreme says with the loud foot giant footsteps over the loudspeaker. Yes, listen, like we can get this going. We can get a petition going about a new chant. And all we got to do is make it famous enough, man. So go ahead and holler at all the Giants content creators. Let them reach out to the masses. Reach out to the social media of the New York Giants. See if we can get something like that going. I would love that, man. Because I remember one of my man, E the Chosen, when we had that playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings, he went to that game and he was just telling me how that fan base was and how they have that chant, the Skol chant, and how it's just a dope feeling when the whole stadium is rocking and everybody's on the same accord. But yeah, I think the New York Giants definitely could use a stadium chant like that. I think it would be something like that. Shout out to Mark Thompson. Mark Thompson in the building. He says, good night to all in the chat. I'm just going to listen and let let you accompany me as I work. I didn't know you work nights. I didn't know you work nights. But shout out to you, Mark Thompson. That's a fact. Again, I'm not going to be on here any much longer. I'm already going for 30 minutes. I had to stream before this one. Technical difficulties, had to shut that one down. But I wasn't done saying my piece, so I had to go ahead and do that. Let's see. Mickey X says, nah, Saquon didn't want to be in New York for That's a fact. Oh man, Dwayne, here come Dwayne now. Dwayne Murphy Jr. I already know what type of time Dwayne is on. He says a new chance should be cut, Daniel Jones. You got to stop it, man. It's too early still. Now it's not too early for you. I understand, because you put everything together, the whole 6 years and all that. So I understand where you're coming from, but not today. We need to be in unison today. We got the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow, and good things are gonna happen. We need all the positive energy that we can get. Absolutely. Let's see what we got. Big Blue Giant says, rock the stadium with the giant footsteps over the loud. Yeah. He said, loudspeaker and the fans chanting Fee Fi Fo Fum will rock the stadium. Intimidation. Little Giants. Intimidate. Yeah. Shout out to one of the best football movies ever, Little Giants. And I'm pretty sure everybody in here has seen that movie, hopefully. Like you start talking about the Vikings and Viking fans pop up. Shout out to Sarah in the building. Says, good luck tomorrow. Hope y'all beat those Cowgirls. I'll take all the support I can get, even if it comes from outside of the fan base. Shout out to you, Sarah. And good luck to you, to your team as well. Mike Jones says the players and coaches probably do have the love for him. Joe wanted him gone. Yeah, it ended up being a thing. And we keep seeing the interviews. And Barkley was so mad about the previous year. He was mad about the offseason in 2023 and him getting tagged, that when it came to 2024, he just wasn't trying to hear it. And he was pretty much over Joe Shane and over that whole situation. He said it as much. I believe it was a clip that went around social media yesterday. Yeah, that's a fact. Let's Be Giants says, what's up, Giants family? What's going on? Let's Be Giants. And shout out to you as well. Mike Jones says it's definitely going to rock the stadium. That's a fact. That's a fact. But yo, shout out to Jessa in the building. Let me get through these chats real quick. James Williams says salute. Shout out to James. James always gives me some words of encouragement in the comment section in these videos, man. Shout out to James, man. James is no nonsense either. He lets you know exactly what's on his mind. But shout out to James, man. And again, let me throw James up real quick. Salute to James. So shout out to James Williams. That's a fact. Long time supporter. Appreciate the love and support as well. Christian Torres says, can you rank the top receivers? Come on, man. we only 3 games in. I'll say this. I'll say this for right now, just judging off of this season. Actually, I can't just judge it off of this season. I'll put it this way. Neighbors is third. I won't give you a full list. You can pretty much substitute wherever you want to substitute. I think Neighbors right now is third, and by the end of the season, he's probably going to be number 2. I'll say that. I'll leave it at that. Right now, I think he's better than Scary Terry right now. And right now, CD and AJ Brown are 2 of the best wide receivers in the league. So I'm going to put him behind those 2. But I think he's better than Scary Terry is right now. And we call him Scary Terry, just call him Terry McLaurin. Ain't nothing scary about him. Tay Banks, the bank was closed when Tay Banks was guarding him, though. I'll say that. I'll say that for sure. And then we got people showing love to James in the chat. Dave Hernandez says, he said, are you looking forward to seeing more Tyrone Tracy tomorrow like I've been implementing? Yes, I actually am. You got it. When we got rid of Saquon Barkley, he was like that workhorse back. He was getting all of the carries. And when I think everybody was in agreement going into the season that it was going to be running back by committee, and it was going to be, even doses of Singletary, Tyrone Tracy, and Eric Gray, or at least Tyrone Tracy and Devin Singletary. And we haven't seen that. We haven't seen that at all. So for me, yes, I think we need to see more Tyrone Tracy. He is healthy. He is ready to go. He has a different level of explosiveness. And we just saw Devin Singletary take a 50-yard run and if he didn't get the ball, if he didn't go down at the one on purpose, that was going to be a 50-yard touchdown, 50 yards plus. So he showed some explosiveness too with that pitch play or that toss play. But Tyrone Tracy has that ability that anytime he gets his hands on the ball, he can take it to the house. He's that explosive. We've seen, well, not we've seen it, but I've seen it when he was at Purdue last season. He's an older running back too. So, let's get the usage. He's already 20, was he 24, almost 25 already? Older rookie. Let's get this guy the ball. So I do agree with you. I do need to see more Tyrone Tracy tomorrow and also moving forward from that. Absolutely. Side guy Brad says, yep, feeling TT. Yeah. Yeah, Tyrone Tracy. Yeah, I think so. And again, you guys, I got one question for you guys. Again, and I keep going back and forth with it. And it's about Jalen Hyatt. I really want this guy to have a good game just for his own confidence. He's a good guy, man. He's a hard worker, Jalen, and I think he deserves to have that breakout game just for his own confidence because he's going through it right now. You could tell that he's going through it right now. And for a guy to be as talented as he is, and to only have 2 targets this season, only 2 targets this season, 1 ball was uncatchable, and then 1 ball he dropped. It has to play with his psyche a little bit. And just for his sake, because again, I like the kid a lot. I like Hyatt a lot. Comes from good stock too, family, the good supportive system, and all that. I need him to get involved. I need Brian Dable to get him involved in this game. And it only helps too. It helps keep the defense honest if you do have a threat on the field. And I understand he's in a battle with Darius Slayton, but at the end of the day, when you look at these contracts and you look at who's going to be here, for the long run, and Darius Slayton shouldn't cost you a lot of money if you did want to re-sign him. You're not really paying anybody else that's in the wide receiver room, so you can afford to keep Slayton and keep this wide receiver room as is. But for me, I really want to see Jalen Hyatt get involved. That's me going on a mini rant. I understand. Dave Hernandez says, I also loved the signing of Elijah Chapman when I saw the tape on him, really high on him, getting more snaps in the rotation. That's a fact. He's a high motor guy. I like him a lot. Christian Torres says, I want Hyatt and Neighbors to each score a touchdown in a game so bad. That's a fact, man. I like nice things, and you guys like nice things. And to me, this wide receiver room is nice. So, let's take advantage of what we got right now and get all of these guys involved. I'm still a fan of Slayton too. There's no reason why, he shouldn't be getting snaps as well. It's just that the way they're handing out these snaps is just not even enough. I mean, but not even because life isn't fair. But Hyatt definitely needs to get some more targets and some more snaps. That's a fact. Dwayne Murphy says, I would be upset too if Darius Slayton was getting all of my snaps. Another player we are cursed with, because I just said all this nice stuff about Darius Slayton too. And here you come, raining on the parade, brother. Shout out to you though, man, for real. El Jefe says, hot take, the wide receiver core should be Neighbors, Hyatt, Robinson, Hodgins, and Johnson at tight end. I'm a big fan of Hodgins too. I do believe he adds more value than Bryce Ford Wheaton, but Bryce Ford Wheaton is just better in special teams. You don't get any special teams value out of Hodgins, and I think that's what made them select Bryce Ford Wheaton over Hodgins right now. But definitely like Hodgins a lot. Hodgins is on the practice squad, like Ruben pointed out. But yeah, he's a good guy to have on the practice squad because he does have chemistry with the quarterback now. He does know the offense. So if anybody were to go down, I believe Isaiah Hodgins will be the first call up. That's for sure, especially when it comes to the wide receivers. But let's see what's going on with that. And I'm going to close this thing out. I really got to get out of here because I do have to work in the morning, and I do respect everybody else's time. I really think it came down to DJ preferring Slayton over Hyatt. Dable said in the interview, Slay is whose DJ is more comfortable with. That caught my attention. No, he's absolutely comfortable. He's been there since the beginning with DJ. When DJ got drafted, you figure Slayton came in with him, and he was the guy staying after practice with DJ, getting a lot of those snaps and reps in. So yeah, they have that chemistry, they have that brotherhood, and is no question why, he feels the way he feels about Slayton, and they have that chemistry. Ruben says cut Slayton's and bring in Hodge. I'm not gonna call him a bum. I'm not gonna call him a bum. Dwayne says Mike Jones, exactly. He's agreeing with Mike Jones until the black. Come on. All right. All right, Dwayne. Like I said, we're gonna keep it positive, man. We're gonna keep it positive, and I'm gonna end the day. I'm not even gonna put that up, Dwayne. It's all love, but I'm not gonna put that. I want to end on a high note. The New York Giants tomorrow versus the Dallas Cowboys. Real rivalry. We got a chance to make some noise tomorrow. We got a chance to pull off a victory. I really do think so. And again, hopefully tomorrow everybody's tuned in, and hopefully it's a victory, and hopefully we can celebrate together tomorrow, after the game. But with that being said, I'm gonna shut it down again. I want to thank everybody for vibing with me again. Everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And for one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.